Firstly, I'm very glad to be speaking to you. I can't believe I'm speaking to you. I was actually just watching your movie, Chintoka Birthday. Um,
Thank you. Thank you.
a brilliant movie. Absolutely loved it. So, can you tell the audience just a little bit about the movie, Chintoka Birthday?
Uh, well, the most important thing is it's streaming already right now, so they
Yeah,
can catch it on Z5.
yeah.
Um, uh, it's a small film, small in the sense that in literally and otherwise, it's all of 83 minutes. Um Independent film. It came out of that space. Um, Also, we made it a couple of years ago, so it did a few rounds of the film festival circuit,
Mm-hmm.
but not much. And then um, the lockdown kind of provided a wonderful platform for it to get streaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's written and directed by two very young, promising, talented, brilliant minds, Satyanshu Singh and Devanshu Kumar. They're brothers in real life. Uh, they had written this film during the Iraq War, actually. So the film was written a long time ago, but they worked and they were still students. One was a final year um, medical student, and the other one, was also studying. And then they kept working on the script.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and they kept making it better. The script kept evolving from there, and yeah, and they came very close to making it some 5 6 years ago, but something didn't work out. And then in between, they made a short film because they're very passionate uh, movie cinema lovers. They made a short film called Tamash uh, in Kashmiri.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and that film won a national award that year. They, uh, they both come from this small place in Bihar.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I'm very, very happy and glad that they finally decided the script to route up to me. And when I read it, I was happy and shocked that how come a film which is so brilliant on paper hasn't been made it yet. And as luck and fortune and good fortune in my case, that the film finally got made, and I happened to have the good fortune of contributing in the film, and yeah, I became a part of it, and it's brilliant. I
Amazing.
think I said more than anyone.
No, that's beautiful. It gives a lot of context about the movie and the
Yeah.
backstory. So, is this story based on a true story?
Well, Iraq War did happen, so yes, and uh, yes, the true references of the film.
Yeah.
There was a Saddam Hussein and there was a George W. Bush at that time. So yes, that's true. Uh, did did Baghdad get bombed? Yes, it did on numerous occasions. Were there any Bihari families stuck in Baghdad? Yes, there were.
Oh, okay.
But uh, uh, in the case of this particular story, it's the fiction weaved out of these true events
Hmm.
uh, to make a story, to make it cinematic. So yes, it's fiction, but derived from true events.
That's
Did
beautiful.
I make it complicated enough
Yeah,
for people to get attracted to watching this film? Yeah.
no, I think we'll get it. So, when they came to you with the script, and then they kind of approached it to you and all that, you immediately said yes, you're keen to do this. And how long did it take from ideation to actually filming it and getting it completely done?
Uh, After I read the script, I think within 6 months we were rolling into pre-production, and
Wow.
we started our prep. Uh, they had done some casting already,
Hmm.
like Two American Soldiers were cast 6 years ago,
Oh wow.
and they were also cast after a very tedious process of narrowing down from what kind of actor that they want, for both the soldiers, and they didn't want to compromise on that. So they had tapped these actors 6 years ago, and they got them to play this,
Mm.
uh, when they finally were making the film. Then the children they cast uh, out of, again, looking for so many profiles, different auditioning. They I'm told 1,800 kids were screened.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, and and then they finally got Vedant Chibar as Chintu, and uh, Disha as Lakshmi, and then they had gone to Kashmir to do the casting of the two children, the Iraqi kids, to play the
Yeah.
Iraqi kids in the film.
Yeah.
So, and then of course the landlord's character was cast from Palestine. There was an actor, Mr. Khalid Masood, a fantastic theater actor and,
Mm.
and cinema actor. So he was cast from Palestine. So they they did everything that they should do, not just as the first time filmmakers, but as filmmakers, first time or nth time, whatever it is. They're very meticulous in terms of their planning, but at the same time, very, very open to ideas, and then Seemaji, myself, and Tilotama, we weren't new actors, but I mean, I can speak to myself. I felt like a new actor on the set every day because I was working with this new set of energy, and it was, and of course there were kids, so I had a whole lot of reasons to play and
Yeah.
and not feel bad about it. So yeah, yeah, that's what
So
we did.
who did you there's a lot of Arabic been spoken in the film. Did you have to learn that? Did Chintu in the film have to learn it because he spoke quite a lot? So how
Yes, all of us except for Seemaji and Tilotama, none of the characters speak any Urdu.
Mm.
In my case, my Urdu lines, my Arabic lines were not uh, a lot, just few of them. But uh, Chintu and Lakshmi and these two other kids, oh my God, they had been at it for months.
Wow.
And Chintu's grasp of the language and even Disha's grasp of the language and those two other kids were just brilliant. I mean, I was stunned just watching them and listening to them. They did it with such ease.
Ease, yeah.
Is what is so brilliant to watch kids at play.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And where was this movie shot? Because the whole thing was in an apartment. So where was the whole film shot?
I'll give you a secret, a breaking news kind of secret. This film was this film was not filmed in Iraq.
Okay.
Yay. We shot it in a studio in Mumbai, little in the outskirts. There's a place in Powai,
Hmm.
and they made the whole house. It was
Wow.
not an apartment. It was a studio floor, and they made a huge house. And with that, everything was constructed for this particular film because we shot for 20 odd days, but everything happened there. So they made sure that for actors, um, they had made not just the dressing room, but rooms where they could you know rehearse and stay and chill and play. And the house was constructed in such a way that it was a big house.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we mostly the family we hung out in the house even before we started shooting. So to get used to familiarize with the pitch, as they say.
Yeah.
Uh, So yeah, yeah, it was in Bombay, Hawaii, in the
Amazing.
studio.
Really amazing that place. So, what do you look for in a script when you're choosing a film that you might do?
First and foremost, the story. I need to like the story. If
Hmm.
it doesn't appeal to me, then it doesn't matter if it's just me in the whole film. And it loses its attraction. So for me, the story needs to be, uh, for me, it needs to grasp me. It needs to have something for me to get really excited about, like a child,
Yeah.
so that it's like a new toy. I could play so much with it. And of course, who's directing it, their vision. It's very important that a well-written script needs to have a director with a vision, or what the director wants to say with it. And when I say it's just the story, I meant the script,
Yeah.
the format, the way it's written in the screenplay and dialogue format, because it's a medium of its own. It's a different kind of literature for me,
Yeah.
and that literature is very pertinent to the film that ends up getting made. So yeah, script for me is crucial, paramount. Everything else is secondary, of course, director, and then who's producing it and who your co-players are.
Yeah.
That of course everything has, but script is still the most important for me.
All right. So, you've mainly done comedy films. So, do you ever
No,
fear?
not true,
Not true? Beja
not true at all.
not true at all. Like, okay. Well, a lot of your
See,
popular.
yes, I have done all sorts of films, but uh, the films that has a comedic, what should I say, storyline or that indulgence, they have done well
Yeah.
at the box office, you could say.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be unfair, to the other filmmakers who have given me some wonderful opportunities to do other films that are not necessarily comedies, and they're an equal number. But
Hmm.
that's that. I mean, I'm not here to debate that.
Yeah.
I still feel very lucky to have gotten whatever I got. But yeah, um, yes. So yeah, let's make it a comedy question. Why not?
So, I was wondering if you ever feared being boxed or labeled as a comedian.
See, in our profession, and if you actually look at it closely in any profession, you cannot evade that. You cannot.
Yeah.
So the the biggest of the actors and the actors all over the world, you know them for their certain trait. When you say Jeremy Irons, you suddenly have a type in your head. Uh, when you say Jack Nicholson, there's a type in the head. But when you say Seth Rogen, or when you say Anthony Hopkins, there's a type. You know, so that type, when I was in drama school, we were taught that do not underestimate the value of type.
Hmm.
Of course, you need to be able to transcend to many genres and do whatever job is entrusted in you. But type is associated with the way you look. The look is the first thing. There was a very interesting story about John Goodman. One of my teachers said that if he loses weight and he becomes somebody else, we wouldn't have John Goodman. He wouldn't get as many jobs as he does right now. And he's a wonderful actor, you know. God rest his soul in peace. He's no more. But type is very important, and it's been there in our storytelling for years.
Mm.
in the whole of 16th and 17th century restoration, the Commedia dell'arte, they talk about stock character.
Yeah.
So when you talk about stock characters, you talk about type. Stock characters are basically type. So there's a servant type, and there's a master type, and there's a queen type, and there's a wannabe type,
Yeah.
and there's a prince type. The leading hero type, and then there is a friend of a hero type. That's also a type. So
Yeah.
all these characters are stock. They're type. Now coming to your question, that if I don't know, but if I'm labeled as a comic actor, I I cannot complain about that because at least there's an acknowledgement of me being an actor. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, we could say, oh my God, but Robin Williams could do so many things, but why was he just known for his comedy? That's how it works. you
Yeah.
know it's strange how things get retained in your memory about so many things, and it's strange how masses many a time remember you. If I have to look back at this conversation, uh, madam, 10 years from now, I would, the way you look, and a young, vivacious, very curious, intelligent
Girl.
interviewer type.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yes, girl and the boy is secondary, but your job is very important.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm interacting you through this job and the kind of questions that you're asking, which is almost coaxing me into opening up and wanting to say things and make sense, of this feeble brain that I have under this hat. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
So yes, I've gotten this question many times that don't you mind you labeled as a comic actor? I said, what is there to mind?
Yeah.
The fact that I keep getting the opportunity to select the stories that I want to tell, then rest is um, a marketing gig. you know, I can complain about this red couch that I'm sitting on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm red and you're sitting on a blue one. Oh, such a contract. So yeah, I mean, you can find so many different things to
Yeah.
complain about, but this is not something that is so negative. I feel if
That's
if
probably
it was something that if it was like, oh, he's only a comedic actor and can't do anything else, then I would say, well, that's a little unfair. I would need to prove myself further because I do want to tell lots of stories. I still think, honestly, like a newcomer still today.
wow.
For me, yeah, for me, oh my God, who is writing what, and what's the new story, and how to create a new skin, a new energy, a new spine of a character is still so exciting.
That's beautiful. It's probably the best answer I've heard when I've asked the questions about being labeled. And I've also learned something
Are
I
you?
didn't know, that your look
Are you?
actually plays such a big part in labeling, and that's very true. Now that you said that, it makes sense now that I'm thinking of all the actors and the types and things like that. It's when they lose
Yeah,
weight or they change their body type, they're no more them, or
yeah.
it changes so much.
And also, you can't escape it, because
Yeah.
there's a certain way you look.
Yeah.
There's a certain way Morgan Freeman looks.
Yeah.
And I remember in one of the interviews, like, I can't take credit for this. This is the way I was born. The only thing I can, the only thing you can, it's like you tell Brad Pitt, oh my God, you're so handsome. Yeah, and, oh, it's not his job. It's not his creation. He didn't do anything to be handsome. He didn't. Okay. So yeah, you can say, oh my God, your six packs are so amazing. Yes, maybe he can take credit for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but six packs can't act. You still have to apply your brain to
Yeah.
to
Exactly.
those six packs. So yeah, I mean, of course, it's a much larger debate, and not that I'm conflicting anything you say, but this is the way I look at it, and I have found it. true in many, 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 almost all occasions. So there
Amazing.
you go.
Thank you for that. So, what is your favorite film of yours?
Oh, favorite film of mine.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's uh, that's a that's a tricky bad question. No, I should say the tricky good question. If you want, I don't know. I mean, all the films that I've done, some of them work, some of them doesn't work.
Mm,
But on paper, all the films that I've done are the ones that I wanted to be a part of.
mm,
Barring those who the ones that I had to do because I had no job when I was starting out. So, so, yeah, there are many. There's so many. I don't know.
that's
Again, I said this. I really don't know. I mean, I could say Bheja Fry because it was the most successful, as what people say, and of course, it gave me the opportunity to be in a position to select the stories I want to tell. So it has that significance.
mm,
But there's so many. Das Vidanya is a film I produced for the first time. It's very close to my heart. Chintoka Birthday, again, it's a very hearty film, a very soulful film. Amazingly, when I read the script, the first question I asked the director, like, how come none of the characters are bad people? In the story, has to be, a bad person, but none of the characters are bad. They're all, they're all being themselves, and none of them are evil.
yeah,
There is not one character that you see in the film are evil. Their connotations mentioned, even about Saddam Hussein. The character says, people say he killed so many people, but some people say he was great. Who knows?
mm,
you know. So
very
he gives a benefit of doubt to even that aspect. So yeah, Chintika Birthday is one of my favorites. The both the films that I did with Sriram Raghavan are very close to my heart because he's a master storyteller. There is Johnny Gaddar and Badlapur, uh, my very favorite film. Rajat Kapoor's Mithya is again a great experience that I had. Oh, Aja Nachle for sole reason that Madhuri Dixit was there and we all she was a part of the ensemble and
yeah,
we could not just see her sing and dance, but we could join her in singing
yeah,
and dancing. That is, in itself is greatness.
yeah,
Great privilege, I should say, on my part. So yeah, there was Aja Nachle. There's a film called Manorama 6 Feet Under, which was the first film of this very intelligent director called Navdeep Singh.
mm,
Uh, Manorama is also very close to my heart because it was the first film I did with Abhay and Gul, and we had such a great time because it was a very complicated film, not a very simple film that way. Uh, Two films that I did with Saurabh Shukla, my dear friend, Raat Gayi Baat Gayi and um, Pappu Khan Dansala,
oh, yeah,
and they're both very endearing films.
yeah,
Pappu Kandan Sala is a film that I still sometimes watch with my friends and family because it's such a beautifully lyrical, poetic film. Not because of, I hate to watch myself,
yeah.
but whenever my mom says that I want to watch one of your films, I say, let's watch Papu because, because she likes it. She somewhere wants me to be somebody like him. I said, not in this lifetime. You lost your chance. so, so
So cute.
to select one, and there was a film I did called Straight, a Teddy Mary love story, which was about this homophobic guy,
Mm,
and again Gul and I, and it was. I still think that it was a lovely film. Um, See, a film doing well is not in my control anyway.
yeah,
The only thing I can control is that I could submit honestly and truthfully to whatever it is that I do. So when I said it's a tricky, good, bad question, this is what it is.
fair enough.
It brings out the silly, narcissistic person in an actor saying, "Oh, my favorite film, that and that and that and that, but that one." So
Yeah, fair enough. Every film
yeah,
of yours has a significance to you in certain way or certain way. So that makes sense. So,
They better be, otherwise, why do it?
yeah, yeah,
Right?
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, so what is success to you?
I think in that sense, I'm already successful.
Hmm.
Success is, as an actor, the success is that, are you able to still be truthful, to the job that is entrusted in you,
Mm.
and still be honest in the job that's entrusted in you, and still could you uh, manage to find truth that you haven't otherwise
Yeah,
while doing your job. And and when that happens, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, it's extreme joyous.
yeah,
So I consider myself very successful. Actually, from the first film that came out, I said I'm successful because all my life I wanted to be a working actor, and when I got my first paycheck, I'm like, whoa, that's what working actor is.
yeah.
Um, Between you and I never wanted to, be a big star because I always thought that I don't have the spine to manage that. you know, I I I I I can't. I am not a crowd person. I still feel um, hyper shy when I have to go attend parties and attend press conferences. Pandemic in lockdown has brought this wonderful side of press and media, where you sit, in your
Yeah,
favorite t-shirt. It's washed though, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, even if it's stinking, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So, uh, yeah, success
So
is this. Speaking to somebody in Australia, on a fancy blue couch,
true.
and I'm on my I'm on my cotton red couch with my old Batman T-shirt.
Success.
Yeah, and talking about cinema and art. How fantastic is that?
Beautiful. I love that. So, what would be your advice to aspiring actors?
I'm sure this also you've asked many times,
Yeah.
right? Just like, what is your favorite film? Yeah. What do you say to the aspiring actors? Give us some gyan of yours, my
Yeah,
lord.
tell us, tell us.
Uh, I really don't have much to give.
Okay.
The only thing I can say is try and be truthful, yeah, because it's the most wonderful thing you could do. Be truthful and honest to your job because there's nothing like
Yeah.
that. Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you want to be, whatever art you're chasing or endorsing or creating, uh,
Be truthful.
being truthful to your craft is, I mean, of course, it's good, for your process, but it's so gratifying. There's nothing more gratifying than that truthfulness.
Beautiful.
And yeah, and please don't cheat.
Yeah.
Don't cheat with your art. That's because art is, it has
It's
that
truth.
that sanctity that you need to understand.
Yeah.
So, and these are little things, little things that are very important. So, yeah, be truthful and do all that you can.
It's very nice. Very deep. It's actually really good advice. Just be truthful to
Thank you, madam.
really.
Thank you. I've practiced it, for so many hours. What would I say to a question like that? Yes.
All right. So, last but not least, your message to the Australian audience for your movie Chintuka Birthday.
To Australian audience, oh my God, my favorite audience. Let me tell you. Uh, yes, it is. It's one place I'm yet to visit. It's amazing. I've traveled the whole world and I've never been to Australia.
You need to come here.
And
You'll love it.
yeah, I need to. I need to. And being the cricket lover that I am,
You need to come.
oh my God, yeah. How come I haven't seen a match at MCG?
There was
It's
going to be India, Australia this year, but I don't think
yeah.
that.
I know. It still could happen. By the way, the talks are still on.
Fingers crossed.
I'm following every cricket news.
If it doesn't happen, then you have to be here.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, my message to them is that I really love what you represent. I really love what I see, on the images.
Mhm.
Some of the Australian friends that I've had in India and in New York, the loveliest of the people. You wear your passion on your sleeve, uh, and be it sports or your art, I worked with an Australian director once, many years ago. He directed a play that I did, and oh my God, I learned so much from him. And he was such an unabashed, abandoned kind of cool guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, please, if you could watch the film and excel where you do, except when you play India, just
Hold it
chill
there.
a little bit. Yeah, hold it there. Unless you want to come and join the Indian team and play for us, why not? We are very welcoming. We accept everybody. Yeah, from whatever continent, region, come and play for us.
Love
Yes. So yeah,
Beautiful.
and to all the Indian people living in Australia of the Indian origin,
Yeah.
please watch the film. You would love it, for the simple reason that you're also away from your homeland slash motherland, and it'll give you a joy that's the least this film guarantees, and I guarantee. It'll give
Beautiful.
you a little joy and then a smile on your face. So
Sweet.
please watch it.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed
Thank you,
speaking with you.
Karishma ji.
Really, really.
Likewise. All the best to everything that you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Take
Thank
care
you.
and enjoy the rest
Bye
of
bye.
your day.
Thank you. You too. Now I'm gonna put my frozen face before you. Just
It's a very good frozen face.
yes, it is.
It is. I feel like it's already
I'm
gone.
gonna remain like this until you say leave meeting.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
First Indian magazine to have a national reach. Indus Age is the largest circulated South Asian magazine in Australia with 5 simultaneous editions. 55,000 copies printed monthly. 220,000 readers. Largest network of clients. Undisputed leader in community news. Indus Age is circulated in Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane and Perth to over 525 outlets. Grab your copy now to get the latest on the community, news from India, Bollywood, music and much more. For more info, log on to www.indusage.com.au.